So yeah, I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I am a 12th grader, coming here with the team. So last December, I had the opportunity to lead a 4-day retreat for my school's 11th grade class. In the weeks leading up to this retreat, I spent a lot of time in adoration, and I was really asking the Lord's blessing over everything we were preparing to do. And in this place of prayer, I felt him say, "You have to give this retreat to me." As I heard God say this, I knew it was the truth. If I wanted the retreatants to grow closer to God, I had to let him work through me to accomplish his work through me. I knew that if instead of trying to lead, I simply submitted to his will, that amazing things were going to happen, and they did. Throughout the retreat, I saw opportunities to serve the retreatants, and I took advantage of them. God showed me what he wanted me to do, and he allowed me to choose whether or not I would obey. I stayed open to the Lord's word at all times, listening to his command, and I faithfully carried it out. This newfound trust in the Lord not only worked out to the benefit of the retreatants, but it also helped me. This retreat was my first time completely surrendering my will to God's will, and it was the most joyful I've ever been. Since that experience, I've tried my best to make Jesus the king of my life. Daily, I will feel him inviting me to do something. Now, it's not that Jesus is suddenly talking to me. Rather, I've finally begun to listen to him. He has called me to talk to somebody who seems on their own, spend time in the chapel, and even pick up a piece of trash. Instead of wasting time thinking about whether I should obey, I've started to take immediate action, trusting in the Lord. Even when what I'm doing seems of little value, I'm always glad I should have done it. Since the retreat, I've also been open to God's will for my vocation. I used to be afraid that if I listened to God, he was going to call me to priesthood.
Yeah.
But as I've grown to trust in him, I've realized that the Lord simply wants me to do what he made me for. If it's true that I am called to priesthood, then I know that that's what's going to bring me the most fulfillment and joy, because that's what I was made for. When you're open with God, he will give you a glimpse of what he has for you, and it's so much better than you could possibly imagine for yourself. This is because, unlike us, God sees everything. He knows who we are, and he knows our future. Therefore, our future is going to be brightest when we listen to him. It is often scary to be open to God's will, because you have no idea what he's going to ask of you. But if you rely on him and you remain faithful step by step, you're going to see he's taking you someplace you could never get to on your own. Recently, I felt a prompting to be honest with the people who have hurt me. Listening to God's will has allowed me to grow closer to my dad and to one of my close friends. I've known for a long time that I needed to reconcile with these people, but I found a new strength in my obedience to God. Whenever God calls you to do something, he's going to give you the strength to say yes. In the moment, it's scary and uncomfortable, but after you accept his will, you're filled with peace, because deep down, you know that's exactly what you wanted to do. You simply lack the strength. It is often frightening to say yes to God's will, but that's what we're made for. God made each of us for a very specific purpose. He's created us all for something great. I do not know what that is, and you might not either. But the only way you're going to find out is by asking him. Run to the one who created you. He will not deceive you. In Jeremiah 29:11, God says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Do not be afraid to make Jesus the king of your life. It's the best decision you will ever make. Thank you.